right, a little bit of a different video than what you all are used to because I am in it. I want to walk all of you students and parents too through these learning wrap-ups. They're also called, these are multiplication keys. They're also called learning wrap-ups. And it's a tool that helps kids memorize their multiplication facts. And I cannot stress this enough. Multiplication facts are huge. Whenever a student, goes from fourth grade to fifth grade, and then from fifth grade to sixth grade, and if they don't master their multiplication facts, it just means that you're walking more uphill as you learn new math topics and concepts, because so much builds off of multiplication. And so multiplication facts fluency is the goal here. I tell all of you kids, if you remember that there's a 4-second rule. So some kids will say, I know all my multiplication facts, so I don't need to practice them. So I say, well, to know them means that if I ask you, what's 3 times 4, you can give me the answer in 4 seconds or less. Without using fingers or a multiplication chart. You just have to know that answer in 4 seconds or less. So that's how I know if a student really knows their facts. So these multiplication tools were given to you, the students, at least the students in my group, probably the first few classes that you had here. Hopefully you haven't lost them, but I love them. And parents, if you're watching, I do encourage you to have your kids use these if they're helpful, because they're honestly kind of fun. I think so. I think a lot of kids think so too. So let's say I know my 1s, I know my 2s, I know my 3s, or no, let's just say I'm still working on my 3s. Then what I do is I roll this part of the multiplication keys up, and I roll this part up. So now I'm holding this part, and all alone are the 3s, right? And then there's a string in the back. And then where it says to start, I'm getting a message, nothing important. What is this? Okay, nothing important. You start at the 5, and because that's the number at the top. And then the number that we're working on is 3, so you do 5 times 3. What's 5 times 3? Well, I know that's 15, so I'm going to wrap it across to 15. Then I go 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times 3 is 9. 7, and then you just keep going. And maybe you need to look at your multiplication chart, and that's okay. And you just wrap and wrap. And then let's say you make a mistake. And remember, mistakes are how we learn. Let's just say you just make a mistake. Well, what's going to happen is when you turn the whole thing around, the string is not going to line up with there's kind of these engraved lines in there. It won't line up perfectly. Now, some kids, they don't even bother with checking the back. They just kind of go through and wrap it up because it's fun. And I tell a lot of students, I tell a lot of kids, a good time to do a learning wrap up, because it's only like a minute or two, or, just a few minutes. Breakfast. I say, have these out during breakfast and practice then. Have them out when you're eating a snack. Have them out maybe right before bedtime. But they're really easy. They're small. And so make sure you write your name if you haven't already. I think I asked all my students to write their name on the back. But I would discourage you from doing things like this. Some of the kids like to play with them or swing them around because you don't want to break it. But it's definitely a useful tool. Multiplication facts are really important. And so we're going to do whatever it takes to memorize them fluently. And that is it. Until next time.